Hi, this is Dylan from Business English Unplugged, and here is another dogma style activity for the Business English classroom, conversation driven, materials light, and with a focus on emergent language. This one's called Tech Troubleshooting Story. And basically our learners may have or will have had technical problems at work, and so this is a way they can practice talking about those problems, explaining them, the steps taken, and how they were solved in a professional way. Now this is useful because they may also need to explain these tech problems to colleagues. And it also gives them the opportunity to look at exploring sort of problem explanation skills and the language related to that. And of course, it's another way they can practice sequencing. First we did this, then we did this, and even things like reported speech. He told me to do this, and so on. So the procedure is simple. We need to relate it to their professional life, to connect it with something they do at work, talk about a recent tech problem. They can tell you one of theirs. Then if you want to, you can rehearse the problem solution vocabulary. I tried to do this. What should I do if this happens? The system became unresponsive, and so on. And then you get the learner doing the task, so they recount what happened and how it was solved. Again, you could ask questions if you wanted to extend that level of challenge and change it from a more kind of a monologue, a small presentation, to more of a dialogue. Once they've done it once, then you can reflect and refine to improve the clarity and the vocabulary. They may be able to explain what happened, but you may be able to input more appropriate, more suitable, more frequent words or expressions for that. And then you get them to repeat. And hopefully they will use this emergent language you identified in the reflect and refine stage. And after doing it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, they'll be much better. It's also a very simple way to practice past tenses as well. And as I said, reported speech. Then he asked me if I had done this. I told him I hadn't done that, and so on. As a follow-up activity, because you're bound to come up with lots of emergent language which they could use next time, you could ask them to create a short guide with these troubleshooting steps for that particular problem they identified. Very simple. Again, you could get them to write it down and perhaps then record it as an audio note so they have something they can listen back to. See you in the next video.